Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Joyful Findings Show. Today is February 19th, 2020. February is on its way out of here. We're on that wave on the way out of here. Funny because waves keep showing up for me. And I talk about these almost weekly with you guys. So we're still riding that wave I've been talking about. So just stay on it. Don't be afraid. A lot of interesting things have taken place in the last week or so since I saw y'all. I hope y'all had a happy Valentine's Day. Mine was very nice. We had a great weekend. And I did a lot of anchoring of light this weekend. And I feel like I need to talk about that today because this is something I have done in the past. And just recently, it felt like it's come up again for me recently that I need to go out and just, spread my light around because sometimes I'm a hermit and I stay home and I don't like to go out anywhere. So it was important for me to get out and do some energy work out there in the public. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that story, which is kind of cool. So again, thank you guys for joining me today. This is so much fun. Okay, so on Saturday, the boyfriend and I went out for lunch. And from there, I wanted to go for a ride because I felt like I just my energy was supposed to go around. And I wanted to go out to Anna Maria and Longboat Key, which is a barrier island off the mainland. So I wanted to go out there. And he's like, no, I don't want to fight the traffic, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, fair enough. So we bobbed and weaved through town. And actually, I have some pictures I'll be showing you guys later of things that showed up for me while we were doing this. So while I'm driving around with the boyfriend, I saw this beautiful mural that was painted on a side of a building on Fruitville next to a Catholic church that I'd never seen before, which is so beautiful. See, I never get out. And I'm like, where did this come from? So I was like, that was beautiful. And that was like another sign that I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing, right? So we went and we just went out siesta and we drove all the way along the water. And then we went down to Casey Key and we drove along that. And I felt like, that energy is kind of clear. I clear that stuff kind of a lot. Right. So I was like, all right, so we did what we had to do. And I enjoyed the ride. I took pictures along the ride of things that were important. And then on Sunday morning, when I woke up, right, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm still supposed to do that Anna Maria run. So I text my friend Lenka and I said, hey, are you up for anchoring light today? And she's like, sure, what time? And I was like, you're ready in 30 minutes? And she says, yes, let's do it. So we spent the next 6 hours, people. We spent 6 hours anchoring light. You have to know that it's season here, so traffic is a little bit slow. So some parts are slower than others. So we went out and we went all the way to the South Lido over where I wanted to start. And then we went from South Lido all the way to the north end of Anna Maria Island. And while we were driving there, we were getting the numbers that were coinciding with everything that we needed to do. There was 11s, there was 4s, there was 7s. There was a little bit of everything. And we're like, we can't make this stuff up. You know what I mean? Every corner that we turned, it was like another sign that we were going in the right direction, following our inner intuition, right? So I hope you guys are following your inner intuition too, because sometimes it tells you to do stuff and you don't know why you're doing it. But as we were driving around, I could feel the energy shifts in different parts of the island as we were going through. Some felt so heavy and so dense and so, so I felt like we were clearing that. And as we were coming back through, because some of the island you have to come back through, you could tell that the energy was a lot lighter as we were coming back. It was a lot joyful. It was much more joyful. So just know that your energy is very important. And sometimes it's called out to do stuff that you're not even aware of. So that day we made a big circle. We went out along the water and we came back around and we did a lot of that anchoring of light in places and clearing energy because sometimes I feel like I'm a filter of some sort. I don't know how to describe myself sometimes, but I feel like that was part of what needed to take place. Like in, breaking up those dense areas, breaking up that heavy energy, allowing light back into where light should be. Jules, from YouTube, Jules, very cool in confirmation. Oh, I'm glad you're getting confirmation too, because the confirmation is there for all of us. It's not just for me. I'm just pointing out what's happening for me, but this is happening for all of you, And I'm getting goosebumps as I say that to you. So it's like following that inner intuition, that inner map. And again, I have the goosebumps, right? So it's like feel that energy and feel into what you're doing. So I can feel a lot of things have shifted out there. I won't go back out there again for a little bit to see how it holds together or whatever. I'll go when I'm called. But now it's like following that intuition. We're following that inner source, right? Because I don't usually wake up on Sunday morning and go, oh, I need to go do that. But a few years back, I had another friend, and we would, either one of us would get an information and we'd have to go to that location. And I used to have a little map that kind of like drew it all out where we all went, because we went all the way from southern Sarasota all the way up to the Skyway Bridge. So if you guys know, Southwest Florida at all, that's a big, large span of Florida property and energy and water. And it was important for me to go along the water too, because again, we always have a lot of problems with our water, right? We're trying to save our waters. We're trying to heal our waters. We're sending our waters love. So I feel like there was a lot of that going along too, So, and many different layers, right? So many different layers of why things are happening in our lives. Mostly we pay attention to what happens to us in the linear world, what we're seeing right here and now, rather than feeling into beyond that, right? But we're all tapping into that more now and starting to feel more of that higher self and understanding this part of ourselves, to help lead us forward into that joy that we really want to have in this world, right? And we're all here to help create that together. So yay, I'm so excited about this. And you can see and feel the energy as it's flowing from me today, because I feel like my heart just bursted open as I was telling you guys my story. So I feel like we're all connected. So we're all connecting more. We're all expanding more. We're starting to stand more in that vibration of love, which is going to be that higher energy, right? Rather than that lower energy that makes us feel stuck. We want to vibrate at a higher vibration. So allow yourselves to start vibrating higher. And by vibrating higher, this was something that came up in my class Monday night, about vibrating higher, right? How do you raise your vibration? Well, it was funny because I asked them all that. And then I said, well, what lowers your vibration? And then they started talking about fears and doubts and old patterns and things of that sort. So if you see that you're still stuck in these things, allow yourself to get out of them, right? Allow yourself to change those old patterns that aren't working for you so that you can move forward in that grace and that love that you so desire. So I'm so excited to see what you guys are creating, because again, they're talking about creation. But not only about creation, there's a lot of breaking down, right? There's a lot of breaking down of our old selves. Like if you looked at a building and the building collapsed, right? They imploded it and it all falls down, right? And sometimes that's our lives, right? It implodes and everything falls apart, and then you can pick up the pieces again. So it's like, and only pick up the pieces that you truly desire this time, because a lot of times we'll pick up pieces that don't belong to us. They feel like they belong to us because we feel like we're responsible for somebody else or whatever feelings attached to that. But they don't want you to feel that anymore. They want you to just go, all right, what do I need in my life? What is going to make me happy? And start understanding more, right? Because I feel like a lot of you guys are doing a lot of research out there into your abilities, or learning to find groups more with like-minded people so that you can talk your truth, stand in your truth, and understand your truth, right? Because some of this stuff seems crazy, right? But it's not. It's really not. It's like earlier we were just talking, strange is the new normal. So it's like, we can't make this stuff up. We don't have time, especially when all these numbers and all these signs are coming at us, right? And just like yesterday, I was driving home after picking up my son, and I was coming home, and there was this car on the tow truck, and the license plate said "See Magic," and I was like, "Ooh, all right." So then I pull in my driveway, and I get out and I look up at the sky, and the sun is saying, "Take a picture of me again." I'm always taking pictures of the sky and the sun. So it was telling me on my way home to pay attention, right? To see the magic, and to see the magic in everything, not just when I got out of my car, but just the way the traffic was flowing for me, or just how everything is easy right now for me, or easier than it has been in the past. So yes, see the magic. It was the letter C though. See the magic. I'm not sure what that was about, but C is the third letter. So I don't know. We can do all kinds of stuff with that. But then when I got home, you know, the sun had this beautiful clouds around it. And not only that, always has this halo now, right? This used to be like rare. It's like I see it almost on a daily basis now. And I have the pictures to prove it when my pictures will actually come out. Which I think I'm going to throw into a book or a video. I'm going to do something with these pictures because I feel like they're very important. They've been having me pay attention for a very long time with the sun and things that happen in the sky. So look forward to that too. I feel like I'm supposed to throw something together that's supposed to help wake you up, do something. I don't know. I just follow what they tell me, kind of, you know, and I was like, sometimes these things come out of my mouth so fast. I'm like, ooh, I didn't even know that was a possibility, but there it is, which is funny. And you know what? I also want to thank each and every one of you for tapping in today and later on. And this is a shout out to my brothers because I've heard they've been listening to my show. So thank you, brothers, for tapping in. My youngest brother tells me I talk too fast. And I told him, well, when I channel, I don't have control of the speed. So I still thank them for watching and tapping in and willing them and having them expand with me. So that's pretty exciting too. So they'll probably be a little embarrassed I shouted out to them, but they'll be all right. You guys don't even know who they are anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, maybe some of you do. But anyways, they're my family and I love them. And I love that they think that I'm crazy sometimes, even when I'm not. They're starting to understand me on a different level. So I appreciate that. So everyone's starting to understand everyone on a different level too, right? So your friends around you are starting to understand you in a different level, even if they thought you were too woo-woo or whatever. And it's 111. And you know, even if you're too woo-woo, they're not thinking it's so woo-woo anymore. You know what I mean? Because as we break out of those old patterns, especially from religion and all those other things that kept us like contained. I'm going to use that word today, contained. We're breaking free, people. We're breaking free and we're finding out who we really are. So I'm excited for all of you to see where you guys take all this as we break free and really start using our free will and our free choice on a daily basis. And I also want to mention that, like, when you are feeling all crappy in the morning, when you wake up, you have a choice that you can continue to feel that crappy, or you can continue to go, I'm going to change that right now and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to let that go, right? Because we get stuck in our humanness sometimes. And that humanness could be those emotions that make us feel angry, sad, depressed, whatever it might be, not getting our way, tantrums, whatever. There's a little bit of everything in there, but it's like we're starting to let go of more of that stuff and go, all right, I'm allowing myself to release that. I'm allowing myself to really let go of that so that I can stand in my true power. And when I say that, you guys are starting to take your power back from outside sources. Because I always say you guys look like octopuses sometimes because you have so many tethers going out to other people, places, and things sometimes. And it's time for you to pull your energy back and see where you're spending too much time somewhere else, not spending enough time on yourself, because it's about self-care and taking care of yourself. And see, I can tell I was talking fast right there because I didn't even take a breath. They gotta let me breathe at least. But anyways, it's like all this fun stuff is starting to change and shift in our life, right? And so again, in the beginning, I was talking about that wave, right? So I want you guys, someone needs to start standing in the truth out there. We just cleared that. Okay, so here's this. So what do you guys feel, since I know I have a few listeners out there right now paying attention, what are you feeling as the energy comes up into this February 20th, going into 222? What is that feeling like for you? Okay, because whew, I tell you what, I got lit up this morning just thinking about it, and I don't even know the full, I don't have a full understanding of it yet, but it was like you could feel the energy starting to build, like something's coming, something's like exciting. There's this this magical feeling going on. Is the best way for me to describe it. So everyone just go with the flow, okay? Because it's all going to be all right. So if any of you guys have any comments, thoughts, or feelings, make sure you drop them over there in the comment box. And if you have any questions that you feel like I can answer for you, drop those in there too. I'd be happy to answer them for you. I love tapping into everyone's energy, but even you just listening to my words, listening to what I have to say is sometimes enough to get you to open up or go, aha. And it's so funny because I'll talk to some of my clients clients after they watch this, and they're like, I feel like you were talking right to me, and I didn't even know who would be watching it or whatever. So I can't be talking right at you, but your energies meld with mine, and the message gets out there that needs to get out there. So thank you for allowing me to bring you the messages forward as they seem to need to come. And the energy is pretty happy and light today, which I'm glad, because last week it was pretty heavy. And I'm surprised it's so light because Mercury is in retrograde. So there's a lot of things taking place for people. A lot of your technological things are not working, or let's see, your things are breaking down. Anything that's going to throw a wrench in your day could be happening. Just allow it to slide by you. Don't get all caught up in what it is. Everything happens for a reason, and sometimes we don't understand what that is. And sometimes Mercury in retrograde is about that introspection, about going within and finding out what's happening with you and what it is you really want going on in your life, and what's taking place. And some of these things that are breaking down, maybe it was time to replace them anyways. Sometimes we put things off, and the universe says, nope, not time to put it off anymore. It's time to get this done. So yay. I'm so happy. And you can tell that the energy is starting to pick up again because they're starting to bead sweat off of me. So the energy is starting to kick up for you guys a lot. And this wave that I want to talk about again is very important to us because they've been talking about this wave coming for a long time. And I talk about they, and I talk about the other side. I don't know exactly who they is sometimes, but I know it's coming from the highest and best because I feel that in my heart, and my highest self won't allow anyone else in, because we learned that trick a long time ago. So it's like we are on this beautiful wave, right? And it's almost like a tri-wave. So there's like 1, 2, 3, right? So I feel like we have a big one coming this weekend into 222 and maybe even to 224. I feel like it's going to fall over into that a little bit, and I'm not sure why, but starting way into tomorrow. But I feel like we have this big wave that's coming on. So if you guys feel that coming, just ride that wave. This is also helping you get rid of things that no longer serve you, right? And I've been talking about that for at least a month now, right? Because it's people, places, and things. Anything that's pulling from your energy. Yes, grab your surfboards and surf those waves. Yes, Goldylocks Productions. Let's ride it. And we're all professional surfers. We've all done this before, so don't be afraid. And this is an energetic wave, so we won't drown. So don't have fear of that either. So it's like, you know, just enjoy that ride and just like, whatever you got to do, you know, make it happen. So I'm excited to see where this is going because I never know. And they only give me little bits and pieces at a time, because if I had the whole picture, I'd be telling you guys, you know what I mean? And then there'd be nothing to be excited about. Or some of you wouldn't believe me, probably too. I mean, that's a possibility, depending on how open you are and stuff, because when we see things beyond the physical, when we see how things are playing out in the master plan, if you can see a master plan, it's pretty amazing. You know, it's like you feel it in your heart. Okay, this is all happening for a reason. I love how this is happening, or whatever it might be. So I'm excited. They love to say that a lot too, because they're very excited on the other side. Very, 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 very excited on the other side about everything that's taking place right now for all of us, right? Even though some of it's a little hard for some, right? Because we're having a hard time letting go of that control. And control is not something that you need to have, if that makes sense to you. There are some things that you need to have control of, but you don't have to have control of everything that's going on in your life. That kind of restricts you from going with the flow, if that makes sense. And when we have to surrender to our higher selves, to God, the universe, it's like we kind of let go of our ego self, and we kind of step more in that light vibration and start feeling more of that, because they're doing a lot of tapping on your heart vibration. So there's a lot of clearing that needs to take place there for you guys too, which is way awesome. And it's about clearing all your chakras, right? It's not just about clearing the heart chakra. It's about clearing them all, right? Because I noticed one day last week, I had a friend call, and I was like, yeah, I was feeling a little sluggish, right? So I checked, you know, all my chakras going all the way down my body, checking to see which ones were open. And as soon as I got below my heart, all my earth chakras, right? Because everything below the heart goes to the earth pretty much. And all my earth chakras were like sluggish. And all I had to do was mention it, and then they started spinning and doing all their thing, and I felt in alignment again. But just check in with yourself energetically sometimes to see how that feels, and allow yourself to really just release whatever it is we're holding on to, because sometimes we're not even aware what that is, if that makes sense. Okay. Sometimes we're not even aware of what that is. We just don't. We're human, right? We're limited on what our human brain can process and what we've learned. And even some of what we've learned is not true, which is crazy, right? It's so crazy. But hey, I'm starting to recognize it as it comes along, and so are you. So no worries. So let's see what else is happening in your world out there. There's a lot of things shifting and shaking. They're like shh and shaking. Oh yeah, they want me to bring that up again too. So the whole shaking thing, right? I've been bringing this up for a while. Volcanoes, earthquakes, a few more natural disasters are going to be coming a little bit. This is to help clear things up, get everyone on the board. It's part of the wave action, I feel. Mother Earth is going along this wave just as well as we are. And here's even the funnier thing. So you guys are, some of you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but that's all right, whatever. So these pictures of the sun I've been taking, right? Because I wish I could pull them up on my phone right now and show them to you, but they would look kind of weird. So I'll find a way to share those at one point. But it's like, layers. Let me get my little pad of paper. My little pad of paper is always a little handy. Okay, so I get this picture of the sun, right? The sun is going to be this. And then I see all these other, and sometimes they're close. Okay, so let me show you my picture now so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the sun, right? So this is what I see as the sun. And then a lot of times I'll see this ring on the outside of it. But then I also see these layers, right? I see these different layers of the colors of the sun, and they're the colors of the rainbow, really. You know what I mean? So, and those pictures that I'll show you someday will be really, really cool. But for me, and when I was talking about this in my class on Monday, I feel like, you know, and this is when they just put it in my mind on Monday night, you know, it's like that is kind of like a gateway. Okay, even though we feel like we get burned up from the sun, energy doesn't get burned, right? Just human flesh gets burned. Human bodies get burned. Our energy doesn't burn. So we're able to go through this sun. And what they showed me was, see, I told you guys thought I was going to be crazy. So what I saw was kind of like this. Let's see if I can even do it. All right, my drawing is really awful. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the sun. Here's Earth. We're kind of going into the sun and going into over here, okay? So this is going to be kind of cool because I had a client actually validate this information for me today. She called and she goes, I feel like I just jumped through the sun. And I go, no way. I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, I just talked about that the other day. So there's so many things going on energetically that we're still not aware of, right? And I still don't understand what all this means yet. But as I come across the information, I'll start sharing more of that with you, because they want me to, because some of you desire this information. Some of you need this information to help you move forward, because there's a lot of reality there that we don't get yet, if that makes sense. But we're starting to get more of it. It's all starting to make more sense, which is awesome. Let's see what else is going on in the world. They share all these different things with you guys. And I feel like sometimes I'm all over the place, but it all about is who taps in now and who taps in later. That's why they're jumping around so much, because they already know who's going to watch this later or who they're going to put it in front of. You know, it's just like when information flows in front of you, right? If I need to know something, they'll flow it in front of me. They'll flow it in front of me in an email from a friend. And that's funny because if you guys watched my show about 3 weeks ago when the egret showed up right before my show started, and then he walked across the street and stuff. Well, let me tell you, egrets are showing up everywhere in my life. Almost daily. And then yesterday, I have a friend who sent me 2 pictures. Actually, she sent me 3 pictures. The first 2 were of an osprey, which is very cool because she's keeping track of them and their babies. And then she sends me this picture of this great white egret. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. I was like, all right. So the egret is definitely a message in my life. And apparently one that I'm still supposed to be sharing with all of you. And one of the most important things that the egret shares with us is being in both worlds, right? Is being in the spiritual world and being in our human world at the same time. So I feel like that's finding a balance for us, being our higher selves in these human bodies, right? So I feel like that's coming on more because I'm seeing them as the little birds and I'm seeing them as the great white egrets too. So they're not just showing up in the little form, they're showing up in both. So so as I'm saying that, they're showing me that that's kind of like growth, right? Because we start out with the little egrets and then we grow up into the big egrets. I keep forgetting this backwards for you guys. But, it's like we're growing. We're growing. So yay, you guys got this going on. I'm so excited. So egret teaches us to stand in the physical and spiritual world. He teaches healing of the emotions in order to bridge the heart and mind. Egret helps look deeper into the aspects of life, bring out innate wisdom, and shows how to become self-reliant. Woo! Do you guys feel the energy of that? Thank you, Goldylocks, for pulling up that egret for us. Jumping through the rainbow sun is like a bridge. Yes. Oh, and it actually kind of looks like a bridge. Or it could be a tunnel too, because you remember up north, you guys have all those tunnels and stuff you got to go under too. Especially there's one in Connecticut. I love that one in Connecticut. Through the mountain. Think of the Rainbow Bridge in Thor. Yes. So think about that. So it's like we're all going across this rainbow bridge with each other, right? Some of us are already there, like my client that I talked to this morning. She's already there, and part of what she's doing is helping people get through the bridge or letting them know that the bridge is even there. I should have her tap in someday and ask some questions. You guys would love the answers to those. But it's like, it's like going across that and allowing yourself to stand in that and really becoming self-reliant, right? And in our innate wisdom, because we have it all, right? I keep reminding you guys of this all the time. We have it all. It's just really us remembering it. That's the important part, us remembering. It's waking up out of that sleep, that slumber. Oh, which is so funny because I had this thought a few years ago. I'm going all over the place. So that sleep, that slumber, I feel like a lot of things that take place in our sleep and stuff, is very important because that's our higher self getting our downloads and things like that in our human vessel a lot of times. Also in our sleep time, we're doing a lot of things in our dreams that are very important. Just like this same client I talked to this morning also does a lot of work in her dreams, lots of transportation, lots of helping celebrities. There's a lot of stuff going on in her dream time. Everybody has different agendas in what they're doing here on earth, whether it's in dream time, whether it's your waking life, everything is for a reason. So start putting all the dots together. I love saying that because it's time for you to put the dots together so you can see the bigger picture. So it makes more sense to you, right? Allow yourselves to really start to recognize things and understand the signs are there all the time, right? Always. Just like yesterday, I always pay attention to the animals that show up for me and stuff. And my little wind chime over here is giving the validation there. I had a bunch of crows. Yesterday hanging out over in the trees over there so I could watch them. And they just hung out for a good half a day. So even those mean something. So everything that shows up in your life means something, right? Oh, you love crows too. I love them too. I love all animals and birds. They all show up. Last week, it was funny because Christopher and Sam, they're going to have me talk about a little bit more animals. So Christopher and I went out last week. He wanted to play in his sandbox and I wanted to sit in the sun for a little bit. And as soon as I opened up the umbrella to help protect his sunbox, a ladybug came flying out. And I was like, oh, it fell on his face. He freaked out a little bit, but then I told him it was only a ladybug, so he got chill. And then after that, I was sitting in the chair and I was just chilling. He's playing. And all of a sudden, this eagle comes flying over. So it's like, woo, you know what I mean? So all these things that are showing up in our life mean something, right? It's just like when I'm driving down the road, I told you the story last week about the ducks, or the week before that they show up in the middle of the road. Also, another story. This one's a cute one about animals too. So, we have this neighborhood out over this way, and it's kind of like got a sidewalk and a lot of green space. Well, this sandhill crane, if any of you know sandhill cranes, they don't take any crap from humans or anybody. The sandhill crane was walking down the sidewalk, and this gentleman was riding his bike down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden that bird opened up his wingspan, which I swear to God was like 12 feet wide, and that man just went falling off his bike. And he was like, "You're not going past this," because they're very protective of their mates and their babies. So it's just funny when you see the animals and when they show up in your life. Jules says, I had a bumblebee come to me yesterday. It was huge. Oh, I love bumblebees. Bumblebees are awesome too, because bumblebees are about fertilization of plants, So I feel like that's going to help you be a little bit more fertile in everything that you have going on, right? Because we have a lot of new creations going on. I feel like you have a lot of new creations going on, Jules. So it's like giving you that motivation to keep moving forward and just fly like a bee. And bees are fast if they need to be. You know what I mean? So I love that. And yellow and black. The bumblebee. I love the bumblebees. Except for when you get stung by them. That used to happen when I was younger and lived in Connecticut, believe it or not. Or at least I thought it was the bumblebees. Anyways, the animals show up in our lives no matter what's going on, and they're here to give us messages. So if you don't know what the message is, or you don't know what that animal means, look up the spiritual meaning or the metaphysical meaning of whatever that animal is. I do it all the time. I got it on speed dial on my phone. Just go, "Hey Siri," and it'll say what, and then you just tell it what you need to look for or whatever. But they show up all the time. I have wasps that are actually they're changing up the energy, which I want to talk about a little bit too, since they were bringing up the wasps now. See, I'm bringing up all the animals I've seen even just today. So I have these 2 wasps that definitely want to start making a nest around my house, and I'm trying to defer them to doing that. But it's funny because ever since wasps showed up in my life the first time, and I never could figure it out for a very long time. Wasps are about protection. So I know I'm being protected by these wasps. I don't know why they want to protect me, but they want to protect me. So I'm good with that. And I make friends with them. If they come in my lanai, I open the door, I tell them to walk outside or fly outside and show them the direction so that they can leave, which is so cool. And then I had a slug on my lanai. See, I got a whole list of animals going on today. Slugs are really slow moving. So I forget what slug means. But anyways, slug, I even had a slug, there's the strangest things. Oh, yes, wasps do let us know we are protected. So I love that. So I know I'm protected. And the slugs are probably telling me it's okay for me to be slow or feel like I'm being slow, right? Because I feel like I'm human. So I feel like I should have this whole agenda, and I should be doing all these things and getting things done. And they're like, take your time. It's all right. You got this. You got this. So you just never know what's going to happen. And then the other day I was like, I had to slow down for a bunch of ibis that were in the road. And those are the cricket ones. And those are about healing and magic. And I always run into like flocks of them, at least 30 of them together. So they're just like hanging out. And it's funny because, actually when I was driving my son to school yesterday, I was going to pick him up from school. I saw all those ibis and a big egret. So there, the egret had to pop in again. You see what I'm saying? So just pay attention while you're out driving around. It may not just be, the license plates or the billboards. It could be the animal that's flying in front of you. It could be anything that you should be paying attention to help open your eyes to see the bigger picture, which is most important for all of you, to see the bigger picture and get more focused on what you're doing with your life and how you want to handle your life and the people you have in your life. You guys are taking all your control back. Remember that octopus I talked about in the beginning? Well, you guys are taking that energy back, okay? You're taking that energy back and you're starting to stand in it for yourself. Ha ha! That's funny. Yes, the animal kingdom is represented in Melissa's show today. Yippee. I love the animal kingdom. They're you never know who's going to show up in my readings and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or anything. They just, even when I just channel, they want you to share information so that it helps you expand and help you open up to where you need to open up to. And sometimes you're out in nature and you don't recognize that squirrel running up that tree is very important to you, or that bird that just scooped in. You know, it's not just the cardinals and all those, it's all of the animal kingdom. Even when they show up on front of your TV, you know, just like my son is so into the sea right now and all the sea creatures, from sharks to squids to crabs, you name it, he's into it. So it's like, they all mean something. And when he'll be out here before the show's over, I'm sure, and bring out some kind of animal, which will be significant to this show. So I'm excited to see what happens later on. I'm surprised he hasn't been out here yet, actually. We did a show with the Spiritual Roundtable on Monday, the Patreons for Goldylocks. And my son, towards the end, he was just like, woo, and he just wanted to be out here and be in part of the energy. He loves that stuff. So let's see what else is shaking in the world. What else is shaking in the world? There's a little bit of everything shaking in the world, right? You're shaking, everything's shaking. Earlier, I was vibrating. I literally was vibrating before the show started. It's calmed down because I feel like it's being filtered out now, so to speak. But it's also about standing in that vibration of love, right? Because that's the happy feeling that we're feeling today. So start feeling more love for yourself, more love for others. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Ding, 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 ding. See, letting go. So there are some people that are still holding on to things. See, everything happens for a reason, even when my wind chime dings. And they validate me again. So I love them. I thank all my angels, guides, higher self, and all those that are helping me here today. So does this bring up any questions or thoughts for any of you guys out there tapping in today? Oh, I know what I want to share. So I always have stuff to talk about, even if you guys don't have questions, it's all good. So Chris was going to go, my boyfriend was going to buy me flowers for Valentine's Day. I was like, please don't buy me cut flowers. Just buy me something that I can plant myself and put dirt. And, you know, I needed to get my hands in the dirt because I rent a house, so we don't have a garden. And all I have is my little house plants, and they're already doing what they need to do. And so my mother's been coming up, this whole month now. So again, I went with petunias, right? Because it's like springtime here, and petunias remind me of my mother because we would always go get petunias in the springtime. So I picked out these beautiful 4 different colors. I got white, a pink, and 2 different, a purple, and maybe another pink of some sort, a different color, a different shade. But I spent my Sunday morning planting, putting my hands in the dirt, bringing those seeds to life, so to speak, even though they weren't seeds, they were already plants. But it's like I had to get my hands into Mother Nature a little bit, into her dirt, into her, you know, and be part of that creation. So if you guys are feeling like that, you know, and I know a lot of you guys are up north, you know, you guys could be replanting your house plants or something if you need to get out into nature and do some of that or whatever. But I feel like that was important. And now I will be able to watch that and nurture that, because petunias need nurturing, right? Because you have to pull the dead things off so that it blossoms more. So it's going to keep me busy probably for the next month or so before I get too bored with it, or it gets too hot and I forget to water it or something happens. You know, it's only an annual. It doesn't last forever anyways. But it's bringing me that joy that I was looking for a Valentine's Day gift, rather than some cut flowers that would dry out in, a couple days or a week. So that's what I chose, right? And I'm so funny because I'm so different about traditions. I feel like I'm going to bring that up now too, since, you know, it's always a tradition that you get your girl flowers and all those traditional things that you do for your loved one on Valentine's Day or whatever. And for a long time, I've never really been that traditional girl, and I still am not. All my holidays are changing rapidly compared to what they were a long time ago, and it's all what feels right for you. That's awesome. You got potted plants for Valentine's Day. I don't care for cut flowers either. That's awesome, Goldylocks. Yay, Tiffany. So that's what it's about, getting our hands in the dirt, right? And getting into Mother Earth and breaking the traditions, you know, and breaking those traditions, whatever feels right to us. I saw another friend out on Facebook, did a Facebook Live, and she's like, yeah, I'm not traditional at all. about all this because it's really commercialized, right? Everything is commercialized. I mean, because the same candy you can buy on Friday that you can buy on Saturday was like at least 75% off. So they just want your money, honey. So anyways, and I'm not like that anymore. I'm just about, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'm not so traditional as I used to be, so to speak. So we're breaking all those traditions in all the holidays, really, because we're making them what they really are, right? Because breaking all those traditions also breaks whatever we had been learned or had been taught or whatever it might have been, right? So now you guys are breaking free of all that because I feel free of that too. You know, I feel less tied down by those tethers. Nice. Let's see what else they got on. What else do they have for you guys? I keep sharing a lot of stories about me. Yes, break that. Show your love by buying, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't need material objects to show our love. No, I love you every day, whether we have candy or flowers or not. You know what I mean? So yes, so we're breaking out of that because showing our love has nothing to do with material things whatsoever. Our love is energetic. Our love is never ending. It's just something that is always constant. So it's about us being in that constant vibration of love, right? So where are you going to find that constant vibration of love? You're going to find it within first. Okay. You're going to find it within you first. Okay. So yes. Goldylocks says, those commercials are hypnotic. Break those old 3D traditions. Yes, they are hypnotic. Yeah, we're breaking from that sleep, from that slumber on many different levels. You know what I mean? Because we just are. It just doesn't feel comfortable anymore. And I talked about this at Thanksgiving or Christmas too, back on my radio show. So it's like breaking those traditions. You know what I mean? Why are we holding on to them? Do they still fit our needs now? I mean, it is 2020, right? And apparently this needs to clear out somebody's throat going on out there. I hear him coming. He's on his way. So clearing out all those old traditions and stuff. It's just going to look at me today. So we're clearing that out so that we can create for new, right? Because we want to make new traditions, maybe. Things that don't revolve around commercialism or stuff like that. Oh, I told you. The sea animals are here. Can I see it? I'll show them. Here is the guppy. This is an Octonauts toy. And it has lots of sea creatures inside of it. And it goes under the water. They said hello, Christopher. All right, so he's going to share with us an octopus, it looks like, but it's going to have a special name. Who is this? Who is this octopus? Octopus. All right, it's just octopus today. He is a little Aquaman. I got to get him for swimming lessons this year, too. Okay, and here's our little penguin called Peso. You guys see him? Okay, cool. All right, thank you for sharing the undersea creatures. One more. All right, one more. One more is important. All right, who's this? Tweet. The sea bunny. What's her name? Tweet. Tweet. Yeah. She's a sea bunny. Yeah. I don't know about sea bunnies, but... Oh, and one more. Shelton. What's his name? Shelton. Shelton. And that's Shelton. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know. Okay, well, anyways, so we brought the sea creatures in. So I did all the above land. See, I told you he'd be out here before it was over. And he brought all the sea creatures with him. And he even brought the submarine so we can go out there and check him out with him. So, yeah, he's my little Aquaman. He's cool. What? Yes. All right, he's going to go find some other stuff. He wants to be involved today. So he usually waits until the end or the beginning. He never knows when he's going to pop in. And that's one of the things of doing it from home. I just have to let it free flow. Like I've said before, he's a gifted child. He's very open to all of this. So whatever he's bringing to the table is here for you guys as well as myself, which is so funny because back in the day, probably 3 years ago, whenever I said that I was told I was going to start doing videos and stuff, my friend client, who's also a very good psychic medium, intuitive, she's like, Christopher's going to be involved in them. And he has proven to do that since day one. This is the vampire squid? Yeah. This is a vampire squid. So he's sharing all those creatures with us. And he has a whole handful. So anyways, but he's come into my life so that he can be here to carry on when I can't carry on anymore. Well, and even though I'll be here for a very long time while he's doing what he does. And that looks like a manta ray.
No, that's a dopa eel.
Oh, sorry. It's a dopa eel.
No,
It's an eel.
No, a dopa eel.
Okay, I don't know. I'll have to look those up for you later. Okay, one more. What is this one?
An anglerfish.
Oh, this is an anglefish. Awesome. Awesome. So he's sharing. Okay. Okay. Let's do them quick so Mommy can finish up her show. Which one is this?
A yeti crab.
This is a yeti crab. Okay. In case anyone's crabby, don't be. And this is a shark.
No, a great white tip shark.
A great white tip shark.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What is this?
A slime eel.
A slime eel.
Eel.
All right, thank you. We've covered all of them. Woo! We got through them together, everybody. No more, Christopher. Thank you, though. Play with them inside, though. Love you. Okay, so Christopher has added our sea creatures. Everything from Octonaut toys, because they are from his Octonaut toys. Ever since he got involved with sea creatures, we have sea creatures all over the house. We have planets all over the house, right? Because it started with the planets, and then we moved from planets down into Earth. So Christopher started out in space with, that's interesting. I just realized that now, that he started with all his information that he started spewing at me that he was very smart about, was about planets first, and now he's learning all he can about, I think he's going to be a scientist or something. It'll be interesting to see what he turns out to be when he grows up. He can be whatever he wants. I'll be happy with that. But it's interesting how observant he is, and also the things that he also pays attention to. So any of those animals that may have shown up here today that he has brought forward may actually be helpful for you. So it's funny. I might be actually going back and Googling to find out what this is. Science has proven that the octopus and squid are alien life forms, not from this Earth originally. Well, isn't that interesting? Because when we went into a toy store last week, he was not going to leave without a squid or an octopus. Literally. And we found this one thing that was being bought by somebody else, and it was the last one that was a squid. And then we finally found an octopus before we left. So he's connected to the outer alien realms then. Yay. And he brought us a little pink one. He wants to share the pink one. Not sure what that is.
That's a frogfish.
It's a frogfish. Okay, thank you very much. Frogs are about cleansing. I don't know about a frogfish, but frogs are about cleansing. So thank you for sharing that information, Tiffany. That was very helpful. Because I didn't know that. But even though sometimes when I watch them on the TV, when he's watching, the real life squids and octopuses, they do look like they're out of this world, don't they? It's way cool. So you never know. Things are starting to come more to light now, so that we're starting to understand more of these things that were hidden from us and that we didn't have understanding about, that we do now, and that we are going to forever have and have in the future. All right, what do you got? He's got another one. What is it?
A bubble worm.
It's a bubble worm.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cracking me up. You gotta love 4 years old. He's going on 5, so he's just a little character. And some of the things that come out of his mouth will blow your mind. I watch a lot of history, science, and Nat Geo channels. Ha ha ha. So do we. It's funny the things that I turn on and that I watch. And there's a lot of things that I can't watch now. Oh, I cannot watch anything that's too gory or too painful. I'm too sensitive. I used to be able to watch those things when I was younger, and now I just can't. No horror. I can watch comedy. I can watch things that kind of borderline, but they got to be more sci-fi. I can do like superhero stuff, but I still close my eyes and stuff when it gets real bad or whatever. But it's like, you know, our bodies are changing. The things that we're letting in our bodies, whether it's things that we watch on TV or the foods or the things that we drink, are all coming and changing for us. This is a moray eel. No, manta ray. What is it?
Shovel-nosed starfish.
Oh, a shovel-nosed starfish. Had no idea.
Starfish.
A guitar fish. Oh, little guitar fish. So I guess we're making music with our fish too. I love that. Okay, thank you. See, he even knows the correct name, and I don't know. I'm still learning these things. I have to Google these things. But anyways, the things that we're starting to understand and comprehend are starting to change for us. We are able to start putting up more of this information in our brains, and that's helping us to connect the dots. So any information you pick up along the way, right? I feel like there's all this picking up stuff going on. Anything that you're picking up along the way is to help advance you, to help you move you forward, to help you get into the right zone for yourself, to really understand who you are as a human being, as a spiritual being on so many different levels. They're so excited because more of you are really pulling off those layers and really starting to expand in who you really are and really enjoying who you are, because things are shifting. The more that we own our higher selves, the more that we find balance in that higher self in this realm, the more that we are moving along and just feeling great about ourselves. Things in our daytime are going along a lot better. Just things are really starting to take off for us, right? And even if they feel like they're slow, don't think that they're slow. Just take a deep breath. Everything's in divine time. It's our human self that gets all caught up in how much time it's taking, how much time it didn't take, or whatever we might get caught up in. And they really just want you to all let that go. Okay, it's very important that you just let that go. So in the week ahead, because we have this beautiful wave that's still going to flow over us and through us and around us through the next few days, I'm feeling, Google it. I think there might be some information out there. I just didn't have time before this information flowed to me to do that. Because sometimes I'll even get information and I'll be like, all right, someone must know this already. And maybe they do. And sometimes you can find the information out there and sometimes you can't. And sometimes it's fresh information just for you. So it's something that you have to build off of. So I'm excited to see where you guys take all this in 2020, because again, we still have a week and a half left, you know what I mean, of this month. So it's moving right along. And again, they're having me draw lots of hearts right now. So there's lots of this love vibration going on. There's lots of, a lizard just went running by. Lizards are about dreaming. Let's dream and imagine of our beautiful lives. So lots of hearts are going on my little page right now. So there's lots of love vibration coming out to you to help change the world, and stand your ground. Okay. And when I say that, it's like, so you don't get rocked off the boat type of thing, because things are going to get a little shaky, energetically, but not in a bad way, because we're all ready for it. Most of us are like, woohoo, we've been ready for like 30 years or been ready for the last 6 months or the last week. Just know everything's happening in divine time and everything's going to be all right. So I'm just living that too. So there's more love being shown to all of you. There's more messages being shown to all of you too. There's a whole lot of love coming from a lot of the angels, guides, and loved ones. And as I say that right now, it's like my heart chakra is like wide open. It's just like shooting. It's shooting love bombs everywhere. It's shooting love bombs out at everybody. So the energy is going to keep rocking and rolling through the day. I know Mercury's in retrograde. Again, don't hold that against yourself or things that are going on in your life. Let that go. It's all good. It's so funny. My light keeps flipping right out. Boop, boop. They're showing me that. So it's like all this woo, woo, woo. The love is flowing out of each and every one of you and really opening up to yourself. So open, and expand, right? Because you guys in your expansion are understanding more of what your abilities are. And every day I'm noticing that more of my abilities are becoming stronger or more in tune or I'm trusting them more, or I'm believing them more. That's a big thing that's holds you guys up too a lot of times, is that you guys don't trust yourselves. So start trusting yourselves more. If the same information keeps flowing in front of you, there's some validation that you should be seeing there, and trusting yourself in that. And allow yourselves to really open up to that love vibration, that new earth, that new world that we're creating. And let's all jump through the sun together. Let's cross that bridge together, because it's time, and I feel like there's a lot of excitement there in the heart chakra with that. And there's a lot of fear there too, because they're like, jump through the sun, what the heck? But no, just know that it's all going to be good. And like, the sun is really brightening me up and getting me on. I swear to God, I can't make this step up. So the sun is ready for us to go jumping through, following through that bridge, walking through to heaven where we all belong. Earth is that lower vibration, that stuck vibration that we get stuck in sometimes, and they don't want you to get stuck in it anymore. They want you to wake up from that slumber and get out of this funk. Because that heavy, dense energy that's going on, and allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to grow. And it's funny because one of my friends asked me again this morning, that I text with often, and it's like, I see this wave. Okay, this is so funny. I got to close my pen so I don't write on myself. I see this wave, right? And I feel like it's picking up a lot of garbage, right? I feel like it's picking up a lot of junk. Okay, it's picking up a lot of junk, and I feel like it's going to spit it out on land. Okay, but I don't feel like that's a bad thing. Okay, because I feel like it's coming up to be exposed, and then we're going to repurpose it into new dirt, right? Because they showed me these bunch of all these like rototillers coming through, and you're chopping it all up into this new dirt that we're creating. And this is the thing that we're reseeding, right? We're reseeding the old garbage into the new stuff that we want to have happen. So I can't wait to see what you guys are seeding as this weekend takes place. And remember to keep your thoughts positive. Negativity and fear or human based, not spiritual based. So step out of that and don't allow that to take over, because that gets you in that perpetual, oh my God, what's going to happen, or da 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 da, whatever scenario you play in your head, and they don't want you to do that anymore. It's about stepping in that love vibration and creating joy and standing in that harmony that we're creating with each other, because this is a harmonious place to live when we're all vibrating at the same vibration. Right? But we have so many different vibrations going on right now, right? Whoa. Sometimes I feel like people are on a fence when I feel that, because they're not sure if they belong on this side or they belong on the other side. You know what I mean? So it's funny. But you never know what you're going to run into. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's see what else they would like me to share with you. I'm about ready to wrap up my show. We got about 4 minutes left, and I'm surprised you guys have been so quiet today with no questions, but that's okay. I've always got things to talk about. They're always happy to start talking about anything. So it's so fun that, I know what I want to talk about. I want to let you know about a couple things that are coming up for me. So in March, if you guys are local to Sarasota, Florida, in March 20th on the spring equinox at the Crystal Cave, there'll be a psychic fair from 5 to 9 p.m. So stop by and hang out with us and get a reading or buy some stuff from our cool vendors, or even in the Crystal Cave, which is full of so many crystals that I just vibrate when I go in there. I just, because she has everything in there. So that's happening in March. And then right after that in April, on April 4th of 2020, which will be 444, I'm going to be, what is it called? We're calling it Conversations with Spirit. There's going to be me and 3 other psychics at the Center of Metaphysical Fellowship for like 4 or 5 hours. Doing some channeling and answering of any questions that you guys might have. So if you guys are in town and want to check that out, we'll have a Facebook event out on that pretty soon, probably this week. But those are 2 things that I have going on that are new that I wanted to share with you. And of course, you guys can always click that little thing and find out more about me on my website if you want. So yeah, it's just exciting stuff taking place. Everything's changing and shifting just the way that it needs to. So I'm excited to see what's going to take place for you guys as well as for me. You know what I mean? I'm just like so excited. You guys can tell, right? I never stop smiling the whole show. And I never smile as much. My cheeks hurt when I'm done. But they're happy that you guys could be here and join me today, and that I was happy that I could be here and join you guys today. And Christopher was happy he can join you guys today, and all the sea creatures and all the animals that I talked about were happy that they could be here with you today. And I'm just you guys tap in and let me know where this energy takes you through the weekend, and I'll give you guys an update when I see you guys on next Wednesday. So I'm pretty much going to wrap this up and say that I love you guys. And Tiffany says, great show. Thank you, Melissa. No, thank you guys for watching me and being a part of my life. So I thank you, Tiffany, because you're my producer and you're making it all happen. So thank you, everybody. And you guys have a great week, and God bless you. Love you.